All right, Coach. Well, I know we had talked the last time we talked to you, maybe that was in the spring even, about, changes in personnel. How's all of that going? Just a little new approach and whatever tweaks you're making.
Yeah, after going through the spring and then coming through fall camp, we've had a chance to move some guys around, and a lot of them kind of ended up back in their spots, which is good. I think it's great to let them work both left and right. I think just physically for your body, it's good to do that, and obviously it gives us some depth down the road because you never can foresee what the season's going to look like, throughout the course of the season. So, it's been a good group. I mean, and I mentioned this last time I was up here, and it just rings true, and it'd be bad of me not to mention it, is just the leadership in the room's been awesome. AJ Gilly, Landon, and Jax Harrington. I mean, those guys are just solid rocks as far as coming to work every day and leading the room internally. So it's been those guys allow it to be a really fun group to work with.
Obviously, everyone talks about the quarterbacks because you're a quarterback, but you've got your own kind of back and forth.
Yeah, we do. We got got three tackles that are competing right now. They're all going to play, and that's what's exciting about it. We've got Bryant Williams, who's played both left and right tackle for us. He's doing a really good job this camp, and has really grown, become better and better. Just a more consistent, reliable player, which has been great. Of course, we've got Quentin Williams, and we've got George Jackson that are also, all three of those guys are going to play a lot of football for us, and we're excited about the way they've all developed. I mean, Quentin's gotten better with his punch. George has gotten better with his sets. I mean, I can kind of go down through the whole group of them of things that they've improved on throughout the course of this camp.
What about King?
He's coming off of an injury, and as we're getting him back, he'll play a lot of football. It's just a matter of when he's medically cleared and what that looks like coming off of it. After anytime you're injured, you're just not working out and in the same condition as you need to be for game day. So it's totally, I don't have a great, hey, it's going to be this game. I just don't have a great feel for that just yet.
When Coach Napier got here, however long ago that was, in 18, the first 3 years or so, the offensive line philosophy was kind of play as many guys, constant rotation. 2 years ago, they just didn't have that kind of depth.
Sure.
Last year, it seems like y'all are closer to having that kind of depth. Is it going to be kind of a rotation, or really just at a few positions a rotation?
No, I think there's going to be guys playing. I mean, I think you're going to see Caden Morrow play a lot of football for us this year. I think you're going to see Cooper Fordham play a lot of football for us this year. Guys like DJ Williams. He's going to be a guy. I think he's going to make us make some tough decisions on him as far as how much do you play, red shirt, not, all those things. He's done a really nice job. Mackey has really, really improved, had a great spring. He still fights, playing with a lower demeanor. He's 6'9", so that's always challenging. But he's an interesting guy because he can play both guard and tackle for you. So, I expect him to find and fight for playing time. If the guys are ready to play, we want to play them. I think it's important, as important that there's continuity, and as important as the chemistry is, I think it's important that they've added 12th game, and you play, hopefully we're in the conference championship game. Hopefully we get an opportunity to play for, compete in the national championship tournament. And with all that being said, I mean, you start stacking 12, 14, 15 games on that thing, you need to make sure you're deep. And we're fortunate because I think we got guys that are pushing that have earned playing time.
Played so many close games over the years. You kind of look forward to a blowout game. where
Sure.
you can play guys.
Yeah.
You're going to probably be one of the assistant coaches the most happy if you can get that to play some of these guys.
Oh, absolutely. But I think they got to play meaningful snaps. I think you got to sit down and say, hey, in the third series, this guy's going in. I mean, I think you got to have a plan going in the game to allow him to play meaningful snaps because those are different. You know what I mean? What's the game plan? You know, where are we at? The score's still in jeopardy. I think those things are critical to happen this fall.
I know you've been around a long time, and yet there's still some, you know, it's a new team.
Sure.
Have you been able to see enough in August to say, no, I'm sure you watched film from last year and you know what happened, that we're going to be better at the running game because of this, and this. Like,
well, I think we're going to be better at the running game because, you know, I think we're, you know, a year older. I mean, and not that just a year older, the experiences you gain with that. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about up front. I'm talking about at tailback. I mean, I'm seeing Draylon and Zylan and Bill and Kendrell do things that, you know, I'm not for sure they were ready to do those things a year ago. And to their credit, because they're getting better and they're seeing creases differently and they're, you know, cutting up the field rather than cutting laterally and some of those things. You just watching their growth. And, you know, like I've talked to the old line room a bunch is, you know, our goal is, hey, let's have 1 more yard per carry than what we did a year ago. And last year did a lot of good things. And it's just, you know, you always want to set your sights high. And if we do that, we'll be in the top 5 in the country, top 10 in the country in rushing offense. And that's obviously what we'd like to be able to do.
I mean, it all starts with that. I mean,
Absolutely. It's a mentality. It's a strain. It's a finish. Yeah, it's a finish in your block. It's, you know, it's not just enough to cover a guy up. It's changing the line of scrimmage. It's running off the ball in our combination blocks rather than fitting the combination blocks. And some of those things that, you know, you just hope, you know, you plan and you strain and you work through your individual drills and those things with that goal in mind, and just a constant reminder of, hey, 3 more feet. Let's go get 3 more feet every play and just be consistent with it. And hey, I got to make sure I get a shout out to Connor Neighbors, our strength and conditioning staff. Those guys did a great job getting our guys ready to go. It's been great. I haven't lost any time with them in any of those things, which is a credit to him and his staff.
Now, there's going to be a lot of logistical issues with the construction of the stadium, and yet you coach big guys, and y'all will be playing more night games because of the construction of the stadium. Is that a good thing, or does that not matter heat-wise? Is that something you just like to talk about?
Hot's hot. I mean, it is what it is at this point. I think it's hot on the other team too. I mean, shoot, it is what it is. I think we'll be prepared if they ask us to go play it out in the street. Our guys will be ready to play.